Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and today we're going to be having a chat over Zoom with British actor Elliott Ross, who is in the new Disney Plus show, The Quest.
Everything in Everrealm is as it appears.
I know everybody here wants to win a challenge. Do you trust everyone on the team?
The magic of Everrealm is everywhere.
Before we get into today's interview, we would like to give a shout out to our Patreons, Irene, Bev, and Michael. If you haven't heard of Patreon before, it is a great way to support us and keep us running and improving. You pick a membership tier that suits you and your budget per month, and in return for supporting us, we'll give you behind-the-scenes content and free stuff. You don't have to give much either. You can be a part of our Patreons for as little as $4 a month. Just visit patreon.com/raveitup. You can even donate through PayPal if you don't trust other sites. You can do so just through our email, raveituptv@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We appreciate anything you can do to support us. Now, let's get into this interview. Elliott, welcome to Rave It Up. It is a pleasure to have you on our show. How are you going today?
Thanks, yeah. It's all been really good today. Sun is shining again in LA, so it's, yeah, all good. How are you?
And you get to chat to someone on the other side of the globe. Like, that's amazing, isn't it?
I know, that is nuts.
Is this your first Australian interview as well?
It's not the only one I'm doing. It might be the first so far.
Woo! Yeah.
So, great.
Exclusive for Rave It Up.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say congratulations on your new role as Prince Cederic in Disney Plus show The Quest. So for our audience, it's an innovative reality competition that takes place in a fantasy world. I gotta say, it's such a unique idea for a show. How does that work exactly? Because I have read that the contestants are kind of like embedded into like a fully immersive 360-degree like world with seamless technology. Yeah. Does that mean the whole time they're just doing virtual reality?
I guess what they're doing for the whole time is like a fully immersive television experience. Yeah. So they're stuck in this epic fantasy world that is kind of on this huge scale with an amazing attention to detail, and it's very cinematic. And I guess the idea is that these real people are stuck in our movie.
Yeah, isn't that kind of what we all want in real life?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what's so cool about it is we kind of get to give these kids something that people have always dreamed of.
Yeah. And can you share with us a little bit of like your storyline? Like, where does the prince come into it?
Yeah. So Cedric is one of the heirs to the throne. He has a brother and sister who are also heirs, and the three of them are vying for the throne. All three of them want the crown. And so the storyline that runs through the series is that we're all competing, and we're all also grieving for the loss of our father, which happens at the beginning of the series. And so Cedric goes on this kind of amazing journey of masculinity, I guess, as he goes from boy to man. And what was really fun for me was to try and find the starting point and then look at where he finishes and try and plot the journey in between. And he starts out as this kind of combative, angry, he's a jerk basically at the beginning. And yeah, through over a series of humbling failures, he learns how to collaborate with the others and opens his mind to new ideas and becomes a better person and a man, a leader. So that was really cool. That's Cedric's trajectory.
Grows as an actual human being, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's a lot of competition in one show. You've got the contestants in a competition. You're in competition with your with your siblings. Like, wow.
Yeah. There's lots kind of bubbling away at the same time.
And with it being in a fantasy world, like, how much is it like in front of a green screen and actually like real people? Because I see like from the trailer, like a lot of monsters and things like that.
The incredible thing about this project is there's no green screen. It's
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah. I mean, there are special effects, and they might have used a green screen once or twice in like tiny bits, but I mean, it's real. Like those monsters, they're all real. They were incredible. The makeup's incredible, and the set design is kind of out of this world. So I mean, we're not really doing very much pretending. It's kind of
it's all right in front of your face.
It's all there. That castle was real, and it was really cool.
Talk about movie magic, right?
Literally, yeah. It was kind of overwhelming. It was like living a dream. It was amazing.
Well, I guess that kind of helps your acting too, because I don't know how a lot of people do it in front of green screens, like pretending something's there but it's not.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And then when there's the other end where everything is there in front of you, it's not really acting at all. It's just like
it's your real expression, like wow.
Yeah, just me.
And how was it playing a prince? Did you kind of like have to wake up to yourself after filming and realize that you can't be really in control of other people or a kingdom anymore like you do on screen?
Wait, you can't?
What? Huh?
What?
There you go. Wake up call for you, Elliott.
All right. Well, it's happening right now, live on camera. So, yeah. No, I mean, there wasn't a wake up call. It was a really fun job, and I got to spend, I can't remember the duration of the shoot walking around dressed as a prince in this amazing fantasy world. It was, the most incredible play acting ever. And I think as far as the role is concerned, it was just, I was preparing like a high status character. And I guess there's like, theatrical experience that I used to help, make that truthful. And yeah, it was super fun. It was, most fun.
Of course. And I did have a little bit of a sticky beat too, because the series producers have worked on some incredible shows and movies.
Yeah.
Like Mark has worked for Lord of the Rings, and the other Mark has worked for The Amazing Race. How does that feel? Is that like a bit nerve-wracking because they are such huge shows and movies?
It was. I mean, it was mostly very exciting. My first meetings with them, I was just blown away that they were hiring me to be on their show. That was a dream come true. And I love Lord of the Rings. It's really, really love it. So that was really exciting. And I guess, yeah, there might have been at the beginning, there might have been pressure to perform because I wanted to do a really good job. But, I think everyone was in the same boat there, and we all kind of warmed up to the experience, and we just had lots of fun with it.
And I have talked to a lot of other people about this too in the past, and I'd love to actually get your take on it too. How was it working for Disney? Because I have heard that they really like things particular, which I love about Disney. Like anytime you go to Disneyland, Disney World, like everything's so precise. There's like little hidden Mickeys everywhere, that sort of thing. But when it comes to an actual production, they've got not only a huge budget, but they also do have a big reputation that they want to actually keep hold of.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a privilege working for the Disney company. I didn't have a huge amount of interaction with Disney because we had all our kind of higher ups were executive producers just on our show. So I actually didn't. I don't know. I mean, it was very, very cool being on a Disney set. That was cool, and I think with like working for the Disney brand, there's a kind of a promise of quality and kind of production value and caliber of creatives, and I think that was really exciting. I was in very good company, so yes, I think that was my experience.
And it looks really good on your resume too for any future jobs. You go to auditions. Oh, okay, he's been on Disney Plus. Like, look at that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have that. Anything that helps kind of open the next doors.
The next big Hollywood actor. You're gonna be the new Hugh Jackman, Chris Hemsworth. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I would love that. I love Hugh Jackman.
That's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the goal.
Yeah.
Maybe less singing.
Yeah, you just got to add that to your belt now, right?
Yeah.
So The Quest is based on the 2014 ABC series of the same name, which I actually never heard of before now. Is that kind of the show's about this like same sort of concept as The Quest that you're doing now?
Yeah. I mean, you're right to say it's based off of it. I think the concept was similar in the sense that it was a reality, like an immersive reality epic fantasy series. I think that was like putting normal people into that world. But I also hadn't seen it. I'm not sure if it made its way to the UK, but I hadn't seen it when I got cast in this version, and it's my understanding that the new Disney one is based off the idea from the 2014 one, but it is an entirely new, fresh production, and I think all the things that worked from the last one they've kind of revamped and made bigger, and all the things that didn't they've kind of improved on. So by all means, bigger, better, shinier version, I think.
And it's Disney now. Of course, it's bigger and better.
I think so, yeah.
Probably good that you didn't watch the other one too, because you could really just come in and make it your own.
Yeah, I make a point of not watching things that I'm auditioning for, just because there's a danger of kind of copying.
Yeah,
and I
subconsciously.
Even subconsciously, even if it's copying stylistically or copying a particular person's performance, like I find like there's more of an authenticity if I go into it fresh, and yeah, that's just what I do. I'm sure other people do it differently.
Yeah, people like uniqueness, even especially when you go into auditions. They want to see something different.
Yeah, I think so. And I think when you're making something new, the idea is that it's all new, right? So
yeah, of course.
That was my thinking at the time anyway.
Keep with that thinking, all right, Elliott? It's working for you.
All right, I got you.
So another exciting project is that you're also on Apple TV Plus's upcoming mini-series, Masters of the Air, Steven Spielberg's sequel, guys, to HBO's Band of Brothers. I looked this up too, and it actually features Austin Butler, who's in that new film Elvis. It looks incredible.
Elvis is in it.
And directed by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. So that's really exciting. Did you actually get to meet any of them as well?
I never worked directly with them. Tom Hanks was around one day when we were doing our prep work, which was cool.
Were you a bit starstruck?
Yeah, I mean, of all the people in the world, I think he's one person that I would feel starstruck with, because it's just like, he is so many of like my favorite films. But yeah, no, it was a really cool experience. It was, I mean, similarly a privilege to kind of be among those kind of people. And it was very cool. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to look at it. So you just got some great stuff lined up. Keep a lookout, audience. And you've quietly honed your craft for over 12 years. That's what makes you so amazing. In London before going to now LA. You have a strong theatrical background, which was really interesting to hear about, and even worked at the Royal Shakespeare Company, Shakespeare's Globe, and on London's West End. I'd love to know, though, did you ever have a plan B? Were there any other careers that you wanted to pursue when you were younger, or have you just always been laser focused on the entertainment industry?
Yeah, it's a really good question. There probably should have been a plan B.
Oh. As they say, plan B is just to deter you from plan A, right? Because you got something else to think about.
I guess so. I mean, no, there wasn't a plan B, to be honest. I just finished. I left school, and high school, that is, and then I just got started. It's just what I wanted to do. Obviously, my ambitions have evolved over the last 12 years, and I've had different side jobs. Like, I've always had other jobs. I thought for a while maybe I'd want to work in kitchens, because I did some chefing work and I loved that. And more recently, in the last few years, I've been working as a personal trainer.
Yeah, I read that.
Side, and I love that. And I think now that would probably realistically be my plan B. I think it's I think as my plan Bs have kind of become more more kind of grounded and real as I've got older, because I've just that they've become kind of realistic ways to make the acting career sustainable in the long term. and I want stability, and acting doesn't always give that. I think in my 20s I was less bothered about the stability, but I think now maybe a plan B might. It doesn't mean I'll switch over. I think it's very possible to do both. I think for my plan B, I want to be running my own business so that I can control my time and do my acting work whenever it happens.
Yeah, just kind of view it as kind of like the gas or fuel for your acting car.
Absolutely. And I do think it takes a long time to find a good one and one that works for you. I think that's a big challenge for young actors.
Well, I think also, like, this is why I do these interviews too, because a lot of people, unless like you're, one of the Avengers or something, and making millions of dollars per movie, a lot of people do forget that, even though you might be seeing, say, like, Dwayne, that's a bad example because he is a millionaire, but because we just see him in everything, it doesn't mean he's been working this whole year. It's just been, breaks in between. People forget that once you've, finished a TV show or movie, that you are actually out of a job. It's like very scary. It isn't stable like that, and you got to keep, trying to get the next thing. And at least with these interviews, it kind of opens people up to the fact that it's a really cool job though, and it's a lot of fun, and people are passionate about it. But you got to put the hard work in.
Yeah, it's cool, and when it's going well, it's really fun. And having interviews like this and getting to talk about my work, and you taking an interest in me is really, it's a really nice thing after having worked at the career for so long. I'm very grateful to be in this position. But you're right, people don't see the downtime, and they don't also hear about the many failures and the rejections and the times where I've just been broke or the disappointment. I think it's a really cool job, but I think it probably has really big highs and really big lows, maybe more so than other careers. I don't know. I haven't done any others, so I don't know for sure. But
but I probably agree with that, though. There are some really big highs and some really big lows. But
yeah,
it's what you've signed up for. At least we can give you the recognition. And you get the cool, great opportunities of like playing a prince, and being in the fantasy world.
I did sign up for it, so I try not to moan about it, because I knew, no one goes into it thinking it's going to be easy, and if they do, then there's a certain amount of delusion.
Yeah, life is hard. Come on, like just doesn't even have to be acting.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know too, because is the personal training thing just a little bit like over the last few years, or has that kind of been a little bit of like on the back burner, as you said, like the plan B?
I'm trying to think when it started. So I did my qualification in London a few years ago, just because I thought it was a really good idea to get a qualification in something like that for a business that I could run on my own. However, I only really started practicing during the pandemic. So all my work really was in the theatre, and all of that got cancelled. And I did a few months of kind of bumming around and questioning my existence, like everyone else. And then I just got started with the personal training, and I found a list of private clients in London. Had about 15, nice. And it kept me busy during the pandemic, and it was a really, really great job. It still is. I have less people now, but all my sessions were outside. They were kind of socially distanced, and we really worked around everything, and it was just really cool. It was a very strange year for everyone, but I was quite happy doing that job. And I think because I was happy, and I felt so kind of in control of my life in a way that I hadn't quite had with acting before. When the audition for The Quest came, I just did it. I was better than maybe I would have been had I not been so fulfilled, so it's been quite an important addition to my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably during the pandemic, like a lot of people stayed inside. You got to be outside, socializing with other people. I think that's something a lot of us were missing. Plus, you got to be nice and healthy as well and fit.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. It helps. Yeah. It translates when you feel in good shape and you feel good about the work you're doing on your fitness. I think that's
And I love the word that you use, fulfilled, because you felt fulfilled too. You probably didn't go into the Quest audition like being desperate for the job.
yeah. I don't think that's a very good look. And
No.
and actually, you can't help it sometimes. If you have been out of work for a very long time and an opportunity comes and you really want it, why shouldn't you show them that you really want it? But weirdly, you tend to get better results if you're fulfilled in other parts of your life. That's been my experience.
Kind of like that, I'm okay without you sort of thing, walk away.
Quite cool.
Because isn't everybody like desperate in those auditions anyway? I want this job.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tend not to audition for things I don't really want. I've started to only audition for things that I really want to do. So if I'm there, or you're getting my audition tape, you can probably assume that I want the role. But I think when you are fulfilled doing something else, you don't. It takes the pressure off, basically. Because it doesn't matter if it goes your way or not, because you're happy with what you've got already. And I think that for me has been a really important thing to learn. To not like be grabbing for things, to just roll with the punches, and hopefully some things go my way, and sometimes they do.
You got to be happy in other areas of your life. And I'm guessing with all of the personal training, but also, you love looking after your own health and fitness. Has that been really helping your mental health? Because that's something we love to talk about here on Rave It Up, and especially with, the pandemic, and we all went through that. It really tested a lot of our mental health. Yeah,
in a big way. I couldn't recommend it enough. I think for me, the time investment spent on my fitness, which is probably an hour a day, is way smaller than the payoff, which is the rest of my life. I mean, every other hour that I'm awake, I feel better because I've invested an hour or 45 minutes earlier that day. So for me, that makes a huge amount of sense if you're getting such a huge payoff for such a small investment. And I think I've made it a non-negotiable priority. The same as like brushing my teeth or washing. Exercising has to be done, and it just makes my life better. So I recommend, kind of, for people that aren't doing it or are finding difficult ways into it, find ways of making it work for you, because it really makes things better.
And make it fun, It doesn't always have to be a boring, just, on the treadmill, and, find something you like, I love my dancing, and,
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of other people like Pilates and, kickboxing. Make it fun.
Yeah, totally.
Then it doesn't feel like it's just work.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think once you start really enjoying your fitness, it's actually become my favorite time of the day, because it's meditative, and it's like investing in myself, and I think that's a really good feeling.
And you feel awesome afterwards.
When you feel awesome, you feel bad for a bit, and then you feel awesome.
Yeah, you might be sore the next day too, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain. I hear you also do have a passion for writing, and also currently working on a TV comedy series. Can you please explain that more? Is there a bit of a timeline? Are people interested in getting it yet and putting it out there for you?
It's very early days. It's kind of in its pitch stage at the moment. It's a comedy sitcom based in a British football pub in an alternate reality where patriarchal men know how to talk about their feelings.
Oh, I love that.
It's a comedy about it's a comedy about modern masculinity, basically, and it gives its male characters an advanced emotional dialogue that I don't think I've seen before on TV, and I feel quite passionate about it, because I want to, with my platform on Disney, I want to give the young male audience some accessible resources about growing up into men, and something that isn't outdated or problematic, or something that's just keeping up with, as best as as best we can with changing society. Yeah, I would love to make that happen.
Yeah, make it a bit more of an actual talked about subject instead of, oh, taboo. Sort of.
Yeah.
You listed under taboo a little bit.
Well, I guess just unexplored.
Mm.
And don't get me wrong, the resources exist. They are there. Like, there are books. I've read some really good books, and there's some great podcasts and TED Talks, and there is the conversation happening about masculinity. But I don't think I've seen it on the streaming platforms in like accessible, young, funny television. There are definitely shows that deal with it, but I don't think there are shows. I haven't seen anything that deals with exclusively male issues.
Yeah, and dedicated to it.
Yeah, and dedicated to like the language of it.
Yeah.
Because once people like accumulate an emotional language, that's when we can start having more advanced conversations. And I would love to write something that kind of does that.
Yeah. Be the first, Elliott. Get out there. I really wish you all the luck for that, all right? Keep me up to date, and in the future, you're just going to have to come back on the show and tell us all about it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, I will.
Yay. Woo! Another future chat.
Yeah.
Now, I also wanted to know, before would you like to play a game with me a little bit later on?
Yes.
Well,
okay.
Before we go on to the game, I was
Depends.
wondering
Depends.
Yeah,
What is it?
depends. What is it? I'll leave you on the edge of your seat just for a tiny bit longer.
Okay.
Just before we play the game, I want to know, do you have any advice for our audience who might want to follow their dreams of becoming an actor?
Yeah. Okay. I think my biggest piece of advice for aspiring actors is don't focus on the big dreams. Don't focus on being a movie star or getting onto Broadway. It's too big, and I think you find yourself comparing your achievements or your current position to other people. My biggest piece of advice is to focus on the next step, and it doesn't matter what that is, but wherever you are in your career, or if your career hasn't started yet, or you've been doing it for a few years, try and identify what the realistic next step is, and be creative about how you can get yourself there, and be creative about how you can maximize every opportunity. And I mean, an example of that would be if you're doing, fringe theater, and you're not earning any money, but you're in something, and you think you're doing a good job in it, then try and get someone to come and watch you who might be able to give you some mentorship, and maybe an older actor, or a director, people who have been doing it for a bit longer than you, who might take an interest in you. Because I found that was hugely important for me. When I was doing early theatre work, I met some people who were hugely important in my career a few years down the line, just because when someone takes an interest in you in kind of giving mentorship, they don't stop giving mentorship.
Yeah.
It's they're people that will stick along with you, and as a result, I met people through them, and I actually got my job at the Royal Shakespeare Company as a result of someone who offered me mentorship. So I think wherever you are, just focus on the next step, and if you do that all the time, all those next steps accumulate, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a position that you might not have dreamt of before, but it's because you're just you're navigating this kind of ladder, this industry that will just keep saying no, and people will just keep saying no, or they won't see you, and lots of people will tell you what you can and can't do. And I think the important thing is to not listen, because they're always wrong. And if you're just looking at what's in front of you, then it is very clear what you can do.
Yeah.
And to just do that next thing.
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree more with mentors, coaches, things like that, because why make the mistakes yourself when you can follow a recipe? That's one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah, it's For me, I always felt the important thing was feeling supported and not feeling so alone. Like lots of my friends did go and do. They did their 9 to 5s, and they're, you know, they're in the same age, and they're kind of climbing a corporate ladder and earning more money, and having, you know, if I hadn't had mentorship in my chosen creative field, I might have felt kind of a bit alone in it. But I always had someone I could ask questions of, and there was pretty much always, even when bad career things happened, there was always someone that would kind of say it was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And don't worry, that happened to me when I was 23. You're going to be fine. And I had a couple of friends who did that for me. So yeah, find those people.
Shout out to them. They did a very good job. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
And never give up. That's a really big thing too. Because when it does get you down, it's so easy to be like, oh, I'll just go do that 9 to 5 now. But, you might never actually get there. You might be so close.
Yeah, I mean, find a way of making it work, because bad things will happen. The career is brutal. But I mean, I think that's what I mean about focus on the next step. If something bad happens, think about navigating that and moving forward from that. And you know, it's about life as well. It's like, how can I make this work for my life? What do I need for my life?
Yeah.
Not just being a successful actor. It's about like having a job that is fulfilling, but also earning enough money and having a good social life and growing as a person and having good relationships. And, you know, how can acting like work whilst you're doing all of that? And I think that's been the challenge for me.
Yeah. That's fantastic advice. Good job, Elliott. Like, you're going to be great in all your other future interviews too.
Oh, thank you.
Can't wait till when you're a huge movie star and hear your advice then. I wonder if it's going to be very similar.
Yeah, we'll make sure I don't lose my way.
No, I'll make sure. I'll replay you this.
Make sure of it. Yeah.
Now, Elliott, I think it's time for the legendary 2-minute hot seat. So it is a very famous game here on Rave It Up, and it's very simple. All I do is I ask you various questions, and you just have to pick your preference. So it's like singing or dancing, dogs or cats, movies or TV shows, things like that.
I think I can do that, yeah.
And you have to answer as many questions in 2 minutes as possible. There is a leaderboard up against everyone else that's played the game on the show. So we'll see where you sit when you finish.
All right. Okay.
How does that sound?
Yeah, I can do that.
People love the competitive element. I got that leaderboard idea from like Top Gear, you know, when people do the laps and then they love to compete against everyone else.
Yeah, okay.
So to give you an idea, like we've had 149 people play this now for over like 10 years. So the top of the leaderboard is 101, and that was in person. Second time playing it, so she kind of know what to expect. So
that's insane.
I know, but over Zoom interviews, the top of the leaderboard has answered 57 questions. So let's try and get 57 at least. Oh, all right. And I got the list here. Let me get my stopwatch. Okay, and I'll just change the view so I can see us both. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Rap or rock music?
Rock.
Rock or pop?
Rock.
Pop or country?
Pop.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
Sun or rain?
Sun.
Skiing or snowboarding?
Skiing.
Comedy or action?
Comedy.
Blondes or brunettes?
Brunettes.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Sunglasses or hat?
Sunglasses.
SUV or convertible?
SUV.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
PlayStation or Wii?
PlayStation.
Clean or messy?
Clean.
Singing or dancing?
Singing.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Italian or Chinese food?
Italian.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Kim Kardashian or Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson.
Johnny Depp or Will Smith?
Will Smith.
Mall or online shopping?
Online.
Cinema or home movie?
Cinema.
Ice cream or gelato?
Ice cream.
Cake or cookies?
Cookies.
Cookies or cookie dough?
Cookies.
Family or friends?
Family.
Christmas or your birthday?
My birthday.
Night or day?
Day.
Bus or train?
Train.
Straight or curly hair?
Curly.
Eye color, blue or brown?
Brown.
Vampire or werewolf?
Vampire.
Texting or calling?
Calling.
Los Angeles or New York?
LA.
Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Snow or surf?
Snow.
Harry Potter or Twilight?
Harry Potter.
Family Guy or The Simpsons?
The Simpsons.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
French fries or chips?
Chips.
Burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Guitar or drums?
Guitar.
Leather or denim?
Denim.
City or country?
Say that again.
City or country?
Country.
Biting your nails or picking your nose?
Biting your nails.
Tattoos or piercings?
Piercings.
Backpack or suitcase?
Backpack.
And we're out of time. Whew. I always give Zoom interviews about 2 minutes 15, just to be fair.
Okay. All right.
All right, I just realized all the food questions was probably not a good thing to ask a personal trainer.
Yeah, well, I don't eat Burger King or McDonald's, and I haven't done for a very long time. But as a child, it would have been McDonald's.
All right, so you did have a fave. Yeah. How many questions do you think you answered in that time, Elliott?
It was more than I thought I was going to get.
Yeah, me too. You were going fast. I was like, oh, gotta keep up.
Yeah. I don't know. What's your leader has 57 on Zoom?
57
you said
57 is top of the.
All right. Well, I reckon maybe I did around 45.
45. I'm happy to say you've done more than that.
Wow.
You have answered 53 questions.
Oh, great.
So close.
Great.
So you're sitting number 4 on the Zoom Rave It Up leaderboard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really good. Amazing.
Hey.
You're just going to have to come back on, keep just practicing answering questions fast.
Yeah, okay.
Now, we are unfortunately getting to the end of the interview, Elliott, but as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question here on Rave It Up, a little bit more serious now, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
You don't remember what people say or do, but you remember how you make them feel.
Absolutely.
So be nice.
Something so simple. Just be nice.
Yeah.
We're all human beings. We got to be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good advice for all our young listeners too. Now, before we go, if our audience would like to find out what you're up to in the future, they want to go follow you, where should we go?
Instagram's probably the best one.
Yep.
I'm at Elliott M. Ross.
Perfect. Nice and easy to find you. You could probably just type him into Google too, guys, and he just comes up.
or Google, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And go check out The Quest on Disney Plus as well. We can't wait to see all your future projects. And thank you so much for coming on our show today, Elliott. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
You're welcome. And come back on the show anytime, okay? And hopefully, if you ever plan to come to Australia, which, you know, I hope you do in the future, let me know and we'll do one in person.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
So hopefully it's on the travel list, is it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, lots of places on the travel list.
Oh, good.
Australia, right at the top.
Oh, perfect. Well, you got a reason now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Elliott.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Well, we hope you enjoyed today's interview. If you'd like to check out any of our other interviews, please visit our website, raveituptv.com. All of the podcasts and videos are there for you to enjoy. And while you're there, please check out our book, Knowing What I Know Now, as well as a mini ebook that I wrote last year called Staying Strong, Finding Inner Peace During Hard Times. And please also visit patreon.com/raveit-up if you would like to further support us. You can pick a membership tier that works with you and your budget for as little as $4 a month. And in return, you get bonus content and free stuff from us. So please tell your friends, share the word, and we will see you next time in our next interview. Bye, guys.